urgent appeal to the superpowers to eliminate their nuclear weapons before they destroy us. Over 100 medical inspectors warn of extreme emergency. More than 100 medical examiners around the world, including those considered the most authoritative, have issued a rare joint call for urgent action to eliminate nuclear weapons, saying the threat of a nuclear holocaust is significant and growing. Next Sunday is the 78th anniversary of the first use of nuclear weapons against civilians, when the United States dropped the atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, August 6, 1945. Today, with the hands of the crisis clock closer to midnight than ever, Vladimir Putin's reports and veiled threats of possible use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine, North Korea's repeated missile tests, and the obstruction of non-proliferation initiatives of nuclear weapons makes this call more urgent than ever. The risk is high and growing. The directors of 11 frontline medical journals, including the BMJ, the Lancet, JAMA, and New England Journal of Medicine, write jointly in an editorial. Among other things, they state, nuclear-armed states must eliminate their nuclear arsenals before they destroy us. The health community played a decisive role during the Cold War and more recently in the development of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. We must rise to this challenge again as an urgent priority, working together with renewed energy to reduce the risks of nuclear war and eliminate nuclear weapons. A full-scale nuclear war between the US and Russia could kill 200 million people or more in the near future and potentially trigger a global nuclear winter that could kill 5 to 6 billion people, threatening the survival of all humanity. Once a nuclear weapon is detonated, escalation and all-out nuclear war could happen quickly. Preventing any use of nuclear weapons is therefore an urgent public health priority, and fundamental steps must also be taken to address the root cause of the problem by abolishing nuclear weapons. The fact that all of these first-line reviewers agreed to publish the same lead article underscores the extreme emergency posed by today's nuclear crisis, said Chris Zelinsky, the World Association of Medical Press Publishers. This text is published in the same week that Preparatory Committee for the Review of the UN Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, which entered into force in 1970, meets in Vienna. A new review, the 10th of this important treaty in 2022, had failed to produce a joint statement, and the US had attributed this failure to Russia's cynical obstruction. Any use of a nuclear weapon would be catastrophic for humanity, the article also says. Even a limited nuclear war with only 250 of the world's 13,000 nuclear weapons could kill 120 million people and cause global climate disruption that would lead to nuclear famine and put 2 billion people at risk, according to the authors of the article. And according to a recent survey by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, the 9 states currently known to possess nuclear weapons possess 9,576 nuclear weapons at the start of 2023, slightly up from the total of 9,490 of last year. The US, the only country to have ever used nuclear weapons in war, and Russia control about 90% of the world's nuclear arsenal. None of the nuclear weapon states have ratified the Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, a legally binding international agreement that prohibits signatories from using or threatening to use or developing or stockpiling or transferring atomic weapons. The article mentions 3 immediate steps on the part of the nuclear states and their allies. First, to adopt a no first use policy. Secondly, to put their nuclear weapons out of immediate launch mode, that is, hair trigger alert. And third, to urge all states involved in current conflicts to pledge publicly and unequivocally not to use nuclear weapons in these conflicts. We further call on them, they say, to work towards a definitive end to the nuclear threat by supporting the urgent opening of negotiations among nuclear weapon states on a verifiable, time-bound agreement to eliminate their nuclear weapons, the article says. And this is on Newsbreak. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.